There's Ricardo available. Steve, you trained a little bit with George. Give us some insight here, buddy.
I can't take any credit for George Caruana. He is, I know he wouldn't call himself a self-made man because we're all at the behest of the people that put energy into us, but there you see around him, Kev Capel, Marcin the Mauler, and of course, Sam Creasy. So he's got an incredible group of people around him. George often spars with BST on their Sunday mornings, and he is so well respected by all of his training partners. He's focused on his grappling as well through RGA Bucks, and he's just continuing to get better and develop. George is actually one of these fighters that I think would do, if you had him fight pro earlier in his career rather than stay amateur like he is, he would probably do as good or better because people want to engage in the striking game. George is a very slick boxer and kickboxer. He has a traditional martial arts flavor, but in recent times he's been trying to inject as much of the grappling prowess that you can see there in his corner as possible. Probably one of the best flyweight wrestlers of all time is Sam Creasy. And yeah, just some of the best experience ever.
It's a pretty stacked corner over there.
Very stacked corner.
That's Marcin, Bama veteran, Sam Creasy, Cage Warriors champion, and Kev Capel, Roger Gracie black belt. Amir
This is back from Stronger Gym.
Stronger Gym they had a great evening so far. We've seen some skills come out of there. And we know that George Caruana is very, very experienced. He's been in this battle arena cage many times, putting it all together.
He's getting all that. And he's so loose. Yes. I've just been waiting for this for so long. There we go. Some looseness here. I know Stronger Gym has been really wanting to get the W tonight. They've come so close a few times. And then, but here it is. It's this time, and you got to put the rubber to the road. Everybody just waits. I equate it to being like a race car driver, and you're stuck driving your little Vauxhall Astra around all the time. But today you get to take it to the track. And you get to put that pedal to the metal. You get to do everything you wanted to do. Those times in sparring when you could have cracked somebody hard, but you didn't, well, now's the time to make it happen. And I am going to give the most biased, unbiased commentary I possibly can.
Well, it's a little bit different.
It's hard to. It's really.
He's George Caruana's training partner. He's done some coaching with him as well, so I'll try and balance it out, Steve. You can be Joe Ice towards George. I'm going to be Joe Ice towards Amir and the stronger team. They've been doing so well this evening.
Wait, do you think your team's stronger than mine?
I will say, talk about being stronger. George Caruana looks physically different than we've seen him before.
He's really doubled down. He's started doing a lot more S&C, so he is going to come in as a different physical fighter here. And amazing that he can still make 135 pounds. Just amazing.
Let's go, George! Introducing first the fighter in the red corner, weighing 61.7 kilograms, representing RGA Books. Make some noise for George Caruana.
It's a real fan favorite. He's fought so many times here on Battle Arena.
And his opponent, the fighter in the blue corner, weighing 61.2 kilograms, representing Stronger MMA. Make some noise for Amir Mansoori. Your referee charge, Alan Jackson.
Seems to be working.
Here we go. Calling for the last little bit of instructions there. A lot of intensity from both fighters. No touch. No touch. All right. There's some little bit of back and forth there. Obviously, George very experienced. No one to touch.
Oh, Amir coming out with a strong leg kick.
Yeah, first thing that lands is kick off. Inside kick from George. Backs him up with some big punches. George steaming back in as well.
Oh, great
Nice
takedown
outside
by
trip
Amir.
there.
So well timed the trip.
Oh, George seems to be working for the triangle there on his left side.
We know that George has been working a lot of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu at the Roger Gracie Academy over in Aylesbury with head coach Kev Capel and Dan Lewis and the whole team there have been helping George work off his Jiu-Jitsu, and he's going to be very relatively comfortable off his back. He doesn't want to be here, but it's not the worst spots for George Caruana.
I thought that was a very good tactic there from Amir Mansoori, just steaming forward and getting the outside trip there.
Well, so well timed that trip.
Now George coming up on his own double leg here. Amir settles in for a
guillotine
tight
looks
guillotine.
tight, Steve. That looks tight.
He needs to wrap the head, does George, with his left arm.
Oh, the triangle closed guard. He's trying to get everything. George thought about tapping then. There's a lot of pressure on that neck.
Mansoori might pull himself out here if he's just completely extending.
Yeah, will he
I'd like
blow
to
his
see
gas tank on
George
that
just-
arm?
Yeah, George is doing well to keep his arm underneath.
Fantastic guillotine.
Mansoori's got a
attempt.
high elbow guillotine here. It's very strong position, really well done. He's getting some, oh, he's starting to squeeze it again. He's had to readjust.
He's giving up the grip. Now we've got George Caruana on top. What can Amir do off his back? The stronger gym team stand out.
That was a very good outside trip, and just taking advantage of everything right now is Mansoori.
Yeah,
Caruana's got to be aware of all of this, and he's got to be ready for everything that comes.
in that real scramble for position to have the wherewithal to drop in that trip and get such a clean takedown.
Got to watch for this armbar as Mansoori climbs up.
He's trying to get the angle.
Seems to have it.
It's George Caruana's using it to pass. Excellent by George Caruana to see the problem, the danger, and defend it so well. Now he's on top. Ali in the
Striking
turtle position.
very strong striking here. He's driving his knee in between. He's looking to get the back. He's got one hook in.
That's it. Amir's keeping that headlock. It's the only thing stopping George Caruana from getting to the back. He's
Now
lost
he
it
is.
now.
Can he get the hooks? And now he's in mount.
Amir's in trouble.
There he is.
Caruana's
Big
trying to put
bombs
him away.
landing for George Caruana as he's on top here. There's some hooking in here from the very powerful punches here landing. Only 10 seconds remaining. George turning this first round around in incredible fashion as he lands big right hands to finish the round. Fantastic. There we go. Very good from both fighters. There's a mouse over the over the left eye of Amir Mansoori.
But yeah, a huge ground and pound shot in the last couple of seconds of the round.
And we saw just position to position. Great takedown from Mansoori. Way to hold on to position there. George came up onto the double, immediately sat for a very strong high elbow guillotine.
That guillotine was close. I thought he was
I
close.
saw that hand float, and I was
thought
like,
about it,
no,
and
no,
then
no.
The little adjustment just took the pressure off, but it's brilliant guillotine attempt from
You
Amir
kids listening at
Mansoori.
home, every time somebody wraps a guillotine on you, whichever side your head is on, take the opposite arm and wrap it over their head and drive your shoulder into their neck. Doesn't always work with a high elbow, though, because that high elbow can block your shoulder.
And also, don't always sit back and hope for the guillotine to work. We're not seeing a huge amount of success with the guillotines this evening, Stephen. People are often losing position because of the attempt. Especially in the fight, people will tough it out a little bit more than they will in the gym.
Yeah. There's a call for sharpness there from the corner of George Caruana. They want him to be short, they want him to be sharp, and they want him to be...
Oh, wheel kick attempt.
Oh, wheel kick, and he rolls in.
Almost a leg lock roll. Imanari.
Knee bars are allowed here.
Yep.
Striking from the bottom, though,
Fantastic
is not
passing.
recommended.
What we're seeing is the new improved George Caruana, stronger and more technical.
I'd like to see George drive his right elbow to the mat here and get double underhooks, and he can use that to pass back into mount where he was doing some of his best work last.
Oh,
lot of tricky
sneaking
stuff.
out. Sneaking out is Amir Mansoori. Oh, George saw it coming though.
There's the wrap.
Amir Mansoori's doing a good job of making space,
Yeah, he's
trying to
doing
get the forearm in the neck.
I want to see that shoulder pressure from George. He's doing very well here. He's reaching over, maybe looking to attack the arm.
Mansoori's throwing his legs over.
Mansoori is so tricky. Oh, wow.
Oh,
Look at this.
north-south choke
Almost.
attempt. Oh, use it to get some mount, though. Mansoori locks up the head again.
Doing well. I want to see George go back to that crossface. Mansoori doing so well just to be tricky here.
Yeah, Mansoori's doing a good job holding on that head, nullifying the danger. And if he can get back to full guard, he could threaten a choke.
This is very back and forth right now. Even on the ground here where George should be having the advantage.
Yeah.
A call for action there from Alan Jackson.
Yeah. George is being, he is working hard. Mansoori's doing really well off his back, throwing up his guillotines, working his skates, throwing his legs over. He's being as effective off his back as you can be, but George Caruana, the upgraded, stronger, more physical George Caruana is just currently just too much for him.
There's calls for pressure.
Short time left in the round.
Not much at all. He's doing really well. There, see, he's trying to snake out, and he passes into
Caruana
side control
staying
again.
on top again. Oh, scramble!
And we're back into that front headlock position that Mansoori was so strong with.
Caruana looking for another guillotine, arming guillotine
Arm in
attempt.
this time. Caruana doing well to bridge up.
This is clearly one of Mansoori's go-to moves, this guillotine, and it's so tight, especially with that triangle that he does with his feet for the closed guard.
It's a very strong position, but I don't think he quite has it. I see George's head moving in the monitor here. And he's back in, another takedown attempt, another strong position here. He's doing some work to the body.
Yeah.
Let's see if Mansoori's got anything off of his back where he's going to look for angles. Here we come, the last 10 seconds of round two, a closer round in my mind.
Oh.
George just powers out.
Oh. George had a great round there. Clearly all George Caruana that round, but Amir Mansoori is not out. And we saw that dangerous wheel kick at the beginning. We saw those super good trips that he has. Watching a nice replay now of that trip from the very, such a good trip.
Such a trip. Just has him off balance stepping back. And it's such a strong position there. This is exactly the kind of competition you want to see at this level.
Yeah.
Here we go. We're coming into the third and final frame. 3 minutes to go. It's all to play for.
There's a good chance it's 2 rounds Caruana, but Amir
can't
is
leave
still
that
having
up.
his moments. It's just how the rounds are finishing with Caruana on top doing damage. Here we go, Steve. What a night of action we've had here at Edgbaston Stadium. Watching fighters of this quality fighting. Amir Mansoori versus George Caruana. All to play for here in round 3. I think Amir's going to come out strong, look for a finish.
He must do. He's got to know that.
And we know that in the past, Caruana's been caught.
Caruana doing very well to manage distance here. Obviously, Mansoori wants to draw him in for some of those bigger shots.
I think this is smart from Caruana. He's been having success.
Gets his
in the
hands
grappling
together. He's going to
exchanges.
bring his elbows together, and there he goes. It goes right into half guard. And he can walk into side control here.
Yeah, no risk of being caught in the guillotine that time. Mansoori looking to the very gifted corner of Team Stronger for advice how to get out of this. I mean, what would you do here, Steve? What's Mansoori got to do?
Mansoori was in a good position there, and they were giving him good advice to push the head away, but then he has to bring that bottom knee back, that knee that's between George's legs, out and through, and try to pressure him away just to make some space so he can start standing up. But George doing very well to drag him away from the cage and stay heavy on him.
Yeah.
Now, I know Mansoori's not looking it, but this is an exhausting pace.
Alan Jackson's calling for work. I mean, I think both guys are trying to work as best they can.
Yep, there's that
the Granby roll.
Yep, here we go. George stays on top, and now he's looking to attack with strikes. Stay balanced. It's in the turtle position here. He's got to be careful with the knees here, not to the body and not to the head, as for ISK rules. And back up. Big right hand, attempts to land. Kick.
Oh, the guillotine could be there this time.
Was that? Oh, George back on the leg, looking for the takedown again.
George Caruana. This is what he wants. He's been there's a good chance he's 2 rounds up. He doesn't want to get drawn into a slugfest.
And this has been the difference between George and a lot of his opponents that he's lost to in the past. He's lost decisions to people that just out-wrestled him at times. And right now, he's out-wrestling Mansoori.
And I know it's something he's been working on so much and adding in, like you said at the start of the fight, the strength and conditioning work. And then, you know, Amir Mansoori has been looking great as well. That trip in the first round, the armbar attempt.
And that's got to frazzle
and
you.
The
Get tripped like
kicks.
that in the first.
Yeah. Stunning wheel kicks that it's barely missing. There's about 40 seconds left in this round. We've got Caruna on top, doing the damage.
40 seconds remaining, not very long at all.
Alan Jackson calling for action. I think George Caruna was trying to do his best, just picking his shots. And Amir Mansoori is maybe hoping for a referee stand-up. He's not trying to open his guard and kick off the hips or cagecraft. He's staying safe, but he's also not taking too much damage, and we know he's dangerous off his back. He can throw up submissions in a millisecond.
And you saw that right hand knock Mansoori's head back a little bit, so it was a bit of a stinging right hook there on the ground. And we're going to go all the way to the judges, I think, on this one. What an incredible, incredible fight. And Caruna finishes with a flurry and helps his opponent up like a gentleman. That was an awesome fight. I think the people of Birmingham are very, very pleased with that.
Did you order pizza, Steve?
No, I didn't. But
2?
2 pizzas. Nice. Or did one go to Marty? Did he get one?
Oh, probably.
Anyway, sorry. Yeah, should be talking about that. Should be talking about this great performance. Probably the difference being the wrestling positions, but some really great guillotine work there from Amir Mansoori. Excellent trip in the first, and just missing on a few of the transitions. I'd like to see a bit more pressure here and there from George Caruna when he's on top, but always things to work on. That's what the amateurs are all about. And here we're going to go to a decision, and we'll hear what that's about.
What an amazing fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. What a great contest that was. So after 3 rounds of action, we go to your judges' scorecard for the decision. And they have it as a unanimous decision for the fighter. In the red corner, George Caruna.
So nice to see George Caruna getting the win. George Caruna is such a good example of hard work pays off. He's been getting better and better and better. And since his last outing here on Battle Arena, he's added more skills and also a little bit more physicality to his game. And what was his weakness, you know, wrestlers taking him down and holding him down, is now his strength. He's the Batman of Jiu-Jitsu, right? He's turned the weakness into his strength. And just credit to him. It's inspirational to see a fighter improve so much and dedicate themselves to this sport. And he's a credit to his team there. Kev Capel, Marcin, Samurai Creasy. Absolutely brilliant, brilliant fighter to watch. And I think Steve's going to try and catch up with him for a little interview. And I look forward to seeing him fight here on Battle Arena again. Maybe we could start thinking about some title fights.
George, well, I'm here with your winner, George Caruna, in the bantamweight division. George, an amazing performance. Did he do anything that surprised you, or were you always ready for a war like that?
Do you know what? I wasn't actually. I was not too sure what to expect from him. Never seen much about him, but to be fair, he's got a lot of heart, and he brought that out in me too. Yeah, he gave me a different fight. He came to fight, and that's what I like. Come to fight, he came to put it on the line, and that's what us fighters should do, because we're not like these cowards sitting behind desks saying they're fighters and they're nothing.
Well, George,
yeah.
you're new and improved. I know you want to give a shout out right now, so here, take the mic and tell everybody what you want to say.
Sorry if that sounded bitter, it's just the way I feel in the moment. But I just want to thank my Lord and Saviour Jesus Christ first and foremost. I want to thank all my team down at RGA Bucks. I want to thank, since it's Remembrance Weekend as well, I want to thank everyone that gives their life, believer or non-believer, giving your life for virtues and freedoms. so people can speak their own mind. And this is what we should fight for. We should fight for everyone, not just ourselves. And yeah, I just want to thank all my support as well. I feel the love, and yeah, I just hope to keep giving myself in these performances.
George, well, you definitely did that. You gave us a night to remember, a fight to remember. And what's next for George Caruana?
Oh, well, I was thinking about fighting December 18th, but let me give it a week and that to see how my face is. But definitely March, I'll be back.
He's always ready to go, George Caruana. George, thank you very much. I'll let you get your next interview in. Way to go. And we'll go back to the action with more fights.